it's pretty clear that if America wanted to get rid of child labor and the illegal labor that goes on, we would simply say part of free trade would be that you simply cannot pay more than $2 under our minimum wage per hour to your employee, or make it where they have to pay the same minimum wage as America, and see how fast they still go. They still will, but at least people will be paid fairly. I think a lot of them would stay in America too, considering the cost of the move, but then when you think about it, there's really no cost. You just fly there and start building. Same ideas, same products.
Documentary films, I've seen that they actually can impact change. So I'm just compelled to, keep making them. Yep, that's me doing what I do. All year long, I give big companies a hard time. But at Christmas time, I like to set aside my differences and reach out to big business, like cigarette companies. I went to Littleton, Colorado, where the Columbine shooting took place. And I didn't know this, but when I arrived, I learned what the primary job is of the parents of the kids who go to Columbine High School. The number one job in Littleton, Colorado, they work for Lockheed Martin, building weapons of mass destruction. But they don't see the connect between what they do for a living and what their kids do at school, or did at school. And so I'm kind of, up on my, high horse, thinking about this. And I thought, I said to my wife, we both are, sons and daughters of auto workers in Flint, Michigan. There isn't a single one of us back in Flint. Any of us, including us, whoever stopped to think, this thing we do for a living, the building of automobiles, is probably the single biggest reason why the polar ice caps are going to melt and end civilization. There's no connection.
Let's just say Michael, whatever. No, that's how popular he is. I can't remember his last name, but that might even be his first. But this dude is ridiculously retarded. It's amazing how a retard with money can get away with all the propaganda films that he puts out. But then again, we have major news corporations putting out propaganda 24/7.
Corporations are not accountable to the democratic process. That's what this is about. I don't want to make decisions about everything that goes on in their corporation, but I do have a strong belief that they need to be held accountable to us.
If we don't like certain products, if we don't like Pepsi-Cola, Bank of America, or if you don't like what they do, don't use them. That's the way I see the, people's power is.
You have a lot more money than me. You have more votes than I do. If we use the model of boycott and voting with your dollars, that's an undemocratic situation.
What are we afraid of? I mean, are all the businesses going to leave Arcata? I don't think so. And if they did, we'd deal with it, or we'd figure it out, or we'd do something different.
That's a really good point they have, that if we boycott these companies, they will fall. So what are we afraid of? Why aren't we boycotting these companies? Are we that lazy? Or are we just that heartless?
People that say they fear their government, I really hope that they understand that they're allowed to participate in their government. They're not allowed to participate in anything the corporations do. So don't fear the government. Help it be the government that you won't fear.
If this many people around the country would do this instead of watching Super Bowl Sunday, our nation would be controlled by the people, not by the corporations.
No more chain restaurants in Arcata after a long awaited
have been gaining ground. And when I say we, I mean ordinary people committed to the welfare of all of humanity, all people irrespective of gender and class and race and religion, all species on the planet. We managed to take the biggest government and one of the largest chemical companies to court on the case of me and win a case against them. W.R. Grace and the U.S. government's patent on neem was revoked by a case we brought along with the Greens of Europe in Parliament and the International Organic Agriculture Movement. We won because we worked together. We have overturned nearly 99% of the basmati patent of rice there. Again, because we worked as a worldwide coalition. Old women in Texas, scientists in India, activists sitting in Vancouver, Little Basmati Action Group. We stopped the third world being viewed as the pirate, and we showed the corporations were the pirate. Look how little it took for Gandhi to work against the salt laws of the British, where the British decided the way they would make their armies and police forces bigger is just tax the salt. And all that Gandhi did was walk to the beach, pick up the sword, and say, nature gives it for free, we need it, we've always made it, we will violate your laws, we will continue to make salt. We've had a similar commitment for the last decade in India that any law that makes it illegal to save seed is a law not worth following. We will violate it because saving seed is a duty to the earth and to future generations. We thought it would really be symbolic. It is more than symbolic. It is becoming a survival option. Farmers who grow their own seeds, save their own seeds, don't buy pesticides, have threefold more incomes than farmers who are locked into the chemical treadmill, depending on Monsanto and Cargill. We have managed to create alternatives that work for people.
There are many tools for bringing back community. But the importance is not the tools. I mean, there's litigation, there's legislation, there's direct action, there's education, boycotts, social investment. There's many, many ways to address issues of corporate power. But in the final analysis, what's really important is the vision. You have to have a better story.
Do I know you well enough to call you fellow plunderers? There is not an industrial company on earth, not an institution of any kind, not mine, not yours, not anyone, that is sustainable. I stand convicted by me, myself alone, not by anyone else. As a plunderer of the earth, but not by our civilization's definition. By our civilization's definition, I'm a captain of industry. In the eyes of many, a kind of modern-day hero. But really, the first industrial revolution is flawed. It is not working. It is unsustainable. It is the mistake. And we must move on to another and better industrial revolution and get it right this time. When I think of what could be, I visualize an organization of people committed to a purpose. And the purpose is doing no harm. I see a company that has severed the umbilical cord to earth for its raw materials, taking raw materials that have already been extracted and using them over and over again, driving that process with renewable energy. It is our plan, it remains our plan to climb Mount Sustainability. That mountain that's higher than Everest, infinitely higher than Everest, far more difficult to scale. That point at the top symbolizing zero footprint.
So we've got to undo a lot of things in order to be smart enough to do this really dangerous and risky and difficult work, the best way that we possibly can. And that means people coming together and learning a whole lot of stuff that we just don't know, that has been driven out of the culture, driven out of the
Okay, speak anglo.
en grandes asambleas,
No, pues
y
de
al final
puto.
decidió sobre el agua. Y creo que la gente, los jóvenes y los
Oye,
viejos,
me
en este
pavono
tiempo,
así como lo sentado.
decidimos